Thanks for watching 2 News at 6 tonight. A St. George woman was in court today for child abuse charges and abandonment of her 2- and 4-year-old children. Samantha Hoffman is live for us in St. George this evening. And Samantha, the woman is charged with several felonies.
That's right. The suspect, 23-year-old Olivia Miller, is now in custody. She was supposed to be watching the children from her estranged husband, who was out of town, and she splits custody with. Now the children are recovering from severe injuries.
Being postpartum, I understand that it could be crazy, but it should never get to that point.
According to court documents, Miller's husband Colton received a concerning text message on Wednesday from Miller suggesting she was struggling and couldn't handle it anymore. This was 2 days after he dropped the kids. 4 days later on Sunday, Colton told investigators he returned to town and checked on Miller. He found the 2- and 4-year-olds alone with severe injuries to their faces and heads. The report says the children seemed to be left alone for an extended time, with a mess of food, blood, and feces around the home.
We are seeing an increase in serious physical abuse and torture, and I can't tell you why. I think people are really struggling.
When EMS responded, the children allegedly said Mom hurt them, and she was going to a new house. A neighbor who lives above Miller allegedly told an investigator she heard a woman's voice yelling, children crying and screaming, and crashing from Miller's apartment a few days prior throughout the day.
It's very unusual when people will actually intervene when they see abuse happening. They're so key for keeping kids safe because kids aren't able to do that for themselves, and they shouldn't have to.
The children were found to have multiple severe contusions to the body and severe swelling. The 4-year-old also has a fractured vertebrae and is now at the Primary Children's Hospital for intensive care. Neighbor Samantha Barlow says the area is fairly quiet with lots of families.
Everybody's kids to themselves, they're pretty quiet.
With this happening just a few doors down, she hopes to be more aware of those who may need help.
Listen, keep an eye out, I don't know, talk to your neighbors, get on at least a name basis. I still want to know if Miller had any history of violence involving children in the past. Police said they were unable to get a response in time for this story, but the probable cause statement mentioned a separate arrest on June 3rd, but it was unrelated. A neighbor believes that it was good that Miller texted her husband, but believes she should have done it earlier to get help before this happened. Live in St. George, Samantha Hoffman, KUTV News.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Samantha, thank you. Utah is a mandatory reporting state. That means if you have any reason to believe a child is being abused, it is your legal obligation to call and report it. The statewide number is right here for you. The Division of Child and Family Services, 855-323-3237. There's a full interview from the Washington County Children's Justice Center on reporting these tips. We have that posted for you on the KUTV YouTube page. Now, the Utah Division of Child and Family Services says there were 8,700 confirmed victims of child abuse or neglect just last year here in Utah. 70% of the alleged perpetrators were the victims' parents, while 16% were relatives. Nearly 30% of victims are 5 years old or younger, so they can't get help on their own. They need us. 31% are between 6 and 11 years old, and 37% between the ages of 12 and 17.